What's going on? Marissa Bush here. I'm doing this stretching. Now you gotta get loose when you do these videos like this, you know? Anyways, I've got a cool video. This is gonna be one of those like get in your brain type of videos. You know, those ones I do sometimes, occasionally, you know. You know how I do. I'm actually gonna be talking about something that was told to me by someone yesterday that I'm pretty sure is going to stick with me for the rest of my life. You know, it's something very interesting that I wanted to share. Now, some people may think this is stupid. Some people may not agree with this, but to me, I think it's true, and I think this can be applied, or you can think about this to almost any situation in life. Okay, but I am gearing this towards making money online for people. And in marketing and things like that. And this is also for people who, and even for me, if you are going through times that are, you know, tough, or you think something is hard, right? So I was at my grandparents' house yesterday. I was visiting them, and you're like, oh, that's so nice. Did you bake, you know, cookies and eat ice cream? No, we did not do that, but we had a very fun time. And yesterday, I actually spent a lot of time with my grandpa, which I don't really do a lot. I do occasionally, like, and my grandpa, you know, he loves projects. He loves building, whether it's a car or he's going to extend the house, even at his age, which is pretty insane, or trying to make something better in a house, or even, you know, with some kind of business idea, or trying to, you know. And this is someone, I like to kind of pick his brain every once in a while, especially about business, because he's done a lot of it and he knows quite a bit of it. He's been when his younger years, a successful computer programmer. He's owned lots of land. He's owned a very successful restaurant before, and also the latest one he had was a very successful muffler shop, car shop or whatever. So and this is someone, he didn't go to school for a lot of the stuff he, you know, did. I think besides computer programming, I think he did go to school for that. But everything else, you know, he kind of just grew up on just kind of learning on his own, just by being around people that were doing it, or just learning from a book, or, you know, nowadays the internet, you know, he does that, or, you know, whatever. And, you know, he's done some pretty cool things, you know, like I said, building houses. He, at his age, he was older. They live on some land, and they have a kind of a small house, but, you know, wow, probably, I don't know, a while ago, he built like this whole other section of their house, and practically by himself. You know, it was pretty insane. But anyways, yesterday, and again, I'm going to gear this towards marketing, what he told me, but he was working on his truck that he built like some years ago, and he was doing something crazy. Like, the whole dashboard was out, there was wires everywhere, it just looked like a hot mess, okay? And I was just kind of there, and you know, kind of being around him, and he kind of likes it because he thinks he's showing you how to work on cars, and I'm just like, yeah, all right, that thing goes there, and whatever that is, just don't touch that. Okay, got it. You know, it's good. And but you know, I just like kind of being around him every once in a while, you know, when he's working on that kind of stuff. And you know, but it's kind of scary sometimes, because sometimes he'll speak on things that I think he automatically thinks, you know, like assumes, like he assumes that, like, you know, certain things about cars, that I'm just like, no, I don't know what that is, you know. And so sometimes I'm a little scared, because I feel like he's gonna say, hand me that ratchet tool over there, and I come back and bring him like a screwdriver, you know. It's just kind of like, don't ask me for anything. But anyways, I was talking to him, and I was thinking, why is he doing this? You know, like, nobody works all this kind of stuff anymore, and it just seems so complicated and hard. And basically, throughout the talk, he was basically trying to get me to understand that things in life were just really simple. And I'm thinking, no, I don't think so. That's not it, because there's some things in life that are hard, right? And so, you know, I was talking to him, and then he said something that kind of hit me, and I had to think about it a little bit, and the whole day yesterday I thought of it. But again, you know, I asked him, you know, I said, aren't you scared of doing some of this stuff? Because sometimes he just wings certain things, man. I'm just like, what the heck, you know? And you could really screw something up here. And he's not so scared of that kind of stuff, you know, because he'll fix it. And, you know, he said, you know, one thing I've learned in life, one thing I've realized is that if I'm ever doing something that really is too difficult, you know, that I feel is too difficult at that time, then I'm not doing something right. He said it once, and then he said it again, but he kind of redirected it towards me. He said, you know, if you're ever doing something that, you know, is really difficult, you just can't break through it all, you know, then you're doing something wrong. You're not doing something right. And, you know, at first I thought, you know, that's not it either. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, wait a second, he's on to something. You know? And to the point where I grabbed my iPhone in front of him. He didn't know what I was doing, but I went to my notes section and wrote that little quote down from him. You know, I'm like, I'm going to use that, because if there's anything I'm ever doing, like, you know, trying to learn a new strategy online, you know, to make money, or maybe another type of business venture I ever go into, or maybe if it's even it's a relationship, you know, and something's just not working out, you know, I'm going to look at myself and say, am I doing something wrong, you know? And anything I have ever done that I thought was too hard, when I learned the right way to do it and kept doing it, it became very easy to me. And I am redirecting this to internet marketing and making money online, because a lot of people come online, and you may be one of them, that think, oh, making money online is just way too hard. You know, you just can't do it, and things like that. It's too hard to do, you know, whatever the strategy. You know, how is it that, you know, one person can get in one company and take off with it, and then another person can't? The same company, same training, same thing. But why is it that, you know, there's some people that can make it in certain systems, and then most of the people can't? A lot of times, if they did try, and you kind of break down what they were doing before, it probably was way wrong. And like I said, I don't think there's only one way to make money online that is right. I think there are many ways to make money online, but whatever it is that you could be doing is one of the ways you shouldn't be doing it, right? If you're not doing something right, a certain technique and things like that. And that's kind of what I want to tell you, you know, if it's not the system's fault. You know, if you've been in a system that, you know, if you're in any company, I don't care if it's network marketing. Even I don't hate, but I really don't like network marketing, really. I like internet marketing. That's a little different, because they actually teach you something other than call your friends and family. But even if in a network marketing company, you know, or whatever you're in, if you see any people do really well in it, okay, especially if someone gets in it and they're new and they take off with it, and you're not, there's something you're not doing right. I'm sorry. And the thing is, I've talked to a lot of people that really believe they are doing it right. I've talked to people saying, I don't know why I'm not getting results. I'm doing this, this, and that. And they really believe they're doing something right. And when I tell them, you know, maybe you should change this or change that or do this, they don't do it, or they do it, and it's just, you know, they're still not doing something right. You know? And, you know, I just thought I would share that, because I know I'm going to keep that, you know, for whenever I'm trying to learn a new strategy that I think is just a little hard or challenging or whatever, you know. And then I'll add to that, sometimes people are doing something, you know, wrong because they don't know, right? Whether you're doing something you didn't take the time to learn right the first place, or you're not giving something enough time to work, or you're just flat out doing things wrong, whatever it is, you're not doing it the right way, right? That's what that is, okay? And I think that's why you see people that take off in certain systems. I mean, if it's hard to them at first, they find out what they're doing, they fix it, they go ask questions, they get mentors, whatever, so that they learn the right way to do it, and they do it, and it becomes very easy to them. The things that I've done that I thought were so hard, once I figure them out, and once I start doing them the right way, it becomes very easy. Now, I'm not saying things don't take time. Things can take time, you know, online, and especially in business. And I'm not saying these things just because even when you have the right way to do something doesn't mean it's still going to work overnight, but it will work, right? And I think people need to kind of take that attitude a little bit more. So, you know, if you're just in a system right now, you're thinking it's just way too hard to make work. You're just like, oh no, this technique is just too complicated, whatever. And you know, you're really probably not doing something right. And before you get mad that I'm saying that, you know, really look at, if you're not basically, I mean, really this stuff isn't in your face. You know, that's first wrong thing, right? You need to basically be surrounded by whatever you're doing in online. You need to be surrounded by people online that can help you, that are doing the same thing as you, that you can learn from. That's first. If you're not putting in the time in, if you're not putting enough work in, that's another thing you're probably not doing right. And then when it does come down to certain techniques and things you are doing, you want to make sure you're doing them the right way, or at least, you know, I think there are many, again, I think there are many ways. I don't think there's any one way to do something online. I think there are many correct ways, and there are several different techniques, but there are a whole bunch of other techniques that people are just doing that are just flat out wrong. And you have to basically, you know, to know if something's going to be good for you, or system, you know, is going to be a good fit for you, is to really understand it before you get involved. You know, I think that's a big key on why people think it's so hard. People will get into things, and first of all, when they get into it and they're halfway blinded because they don't even understand the system all the way through. And then on top of that, they don't really want to really understand it. So before you dive into something, before you even make the decision to say, I want to make money online, you better understand the type of work that goes into becoming successful online. Because it is work. You know, unfortunately, a lot of the gurus have made it seem like it's not, and that it's overnight success, and that's just not the case. You know, you have to understand those type of things, and once you get into it and learn the right way, you're going to think certain things are a lot more easier, or a lot more easy than a lot of people think. Okay, so that's just a thing. You know, if you're learning marketing right now, if something's too hard for you, you just can't break through, you're doing something. You're not doing something right, and figure it out and change it. That's it. Talk to you later, and goodbye.